Hi, Drew Smith here from the Growth Architects, and it's time to talk about your business becoming bankable. When we talk about a business becoming bankable, we first have to understand the two types of ways that we can fund a business in the United States. The first step is bootstrapping. This can be broken down into three different ways. First, you may be using an investor. Investors can often bring money, but also take equity. Most business owners get frustrated to give away hard-working equity or have too many cooks in the kitchen when it comes to making decisions. The second way can be using cash. Although a viable option for some, it is not going to allow all business owners to be able to access or certainly run for a long time. As the company grows, more cash is going to be needed, which always seems to run out. The third and final way of bootstrapping is the traditional lending products on the market. There are around 17 different types of business lending products on the market, like business credit cards, business credit loans, merchant cash advances, or SBA loans. The unfortunate thing with any of these for business owners is they're always tied to the business owner's social security number. That means that the more that you use this type of stopgap funding, well, the more it lowers your own personal credit score. Also, in this particular instance, you are going to find that you're going to have low limits to borrow, very high interest, and short payment terms. Once again, as the business grows, continuing to use these traditional types of not only puts your personal assets all at risk, but of course you'll eventually hit a limit on what you can borrow, forcing business owners to have low cash flow. When we look at the other side of the coin, we can talk about a business being bankable. This is built around the EIN or the entity of a business. Most business owners think of this normally as taxes and payrolls and quarterlies, but few stop to realize that this own individual entity is actually the social security number of your business. The credit scoring system on a bankable business goes from 0 to 100, with 80 or above, with all four credit bureaus normally being bankable. Using and leveraging the EIN, you can get 10 to 100 times the limit that you can on personal. You get low to no interest and very long payment periods, as well as raising the value of your company. When we think about the first time that we start a business, we create some sort of business entity, whether it's a LLC, a C Corp, an S Corp, or even a non-profit. We understand that we're doing this for two main reasons. The entity is a legal entity or person that is designed to be able to build a valuable sellable asset that can fund itself. This allows us to get tax deductions as business owners, and in turn it should protect the business owner from the business and vice versa. In this particular structure, the business owner should not need to lend the business money and vice versa. The legal term that protects the business from the business owner and the personal assets is called a corporate veil. However, any time that we bootstrap our business and use some type of traditional funding linked to the social security number of the business owner, we pierce the corporate veil, negating the entire protection and the reason for setting it up. So going forward, the best bit of advice that I can share with you is that your social security number is none of your business's business. Imagine as a business owner and entrepreneur in a world that you knew that you would never get turned down for business credit or forced into high interest loans or personal guarantees. This means that all of your personal assets are protected regardless of what the business does. You could sell the business for the highest amount or pass it down for a legacy to the family and make sure the business will live for generations. The business could run and fund on its own and always have the capital to survive any storm, recession, pandemic, or up and down in the market. You could meet the needs of your operation today and for the future, and be able to seize opportunities to grow and scale the business without limitations. That is what being bankable is all about. When we look at the four components of being bankable, we start off with thinking of it as four legs on a table. The first thing we look at are the 20 compliance items that each business needs to tick off to be able to utilize corporate credit. These compliance items, in lenders' eyes, are the element of risk that is taken away once you tick those off. Most business owners may have started with 4 or 5, but very few have completed all 20. With the growth architects, we're quickly and easy able to show business owners what they've done so far and what they're able to do. It generally takes a couple of weeks and you are completely compliant, meaning that you no longer look like risk in lenders and banks' eyes. The second item we need to start doing is acquiring business credit lines. These are accounts with vendors or lenders that are there to show them that you can pay your bills on time. This also provides the business owner with working capital where you can operate your business today, often at 0%, and pay at a later date, allowing you to keep more cash in the business, keep your expenses lower, and cash flow more through up and down times of your business's life. The third item we want to look at is having strong business credit scores. A strong score is generally 70 or above with all the business credit bureaus. Ideally 80 or above is the perfect score to have. And lastly, we want to have a good business bank rating. Anyone can check a business's bank rating if they know the business owner's name and also the bank that they use. By requesting that report from the bank, it will show them if the business can pay its bills and on time. Ideally, we want to have a bank rating of a low 5. The 4 governing bodies or business credit bureaus that we need to know about are putting out public business credit reports on every one of your businesses with an EIN. Now remember, these are public knowledge, so anyone can look at them. It's what the banks, vendors and lenders can see and will tell them the health of your business. They are going to show the business credit score and also the business recommended credit limit. It's important to know that there are no hard or soft pulls to look at these. The business credit bureaus do charge to be able to look at these scores, or third-party agencies can sell you subscriptions so you can monitor and keep your business credit in check. The most famous of all is Dun & Bradstreet. I'm sure you've heard of them. They do the most advertising. Experian used to just be in the personal space and now run independently on the business credit space as well. Equifax and also Credit Safe is the 4th company that you should know about that is monitoring your business credit and producing business credit reports. Let's have a look at a couple of these reports for example. Here's an Experian business credit report for a company that's been in operation for around 4 years. Their annual revenue is $2.45 billion a year. They are in great standing order, have great sales and no discrepancies. I'd like you to think for a moment, if this was your business, what type of credit limit do you think that you should be entitled to? Do you think that the credit limit on your EIN should be 50% of this number, 100%, 200% or more? I think we can all agree that if a business is healthy, in good standing and pay its bills, it should have a decent credit limit. When we look at this public report, the credit limit is only $10,600. So the question comes to our mind, what causes a credit limit to be low? Very simply and easy, this company has never set up their compliance items or utilized any vendors or lenders that report to the business credit bureaus. By utilizing that free capital from 3,000 vendors and lenders and 4,000 banks here in the US, you're able to start cash flowing better immediately and building your business credit limit. And remember, there is no limit, so your business will grow year upon year in the health of its business credit scores. Company B here does far less revenue, only $394,000. However, by utilizing the vendors and lenders, they're able to get a recommended credit limit of $234,800. At Growth Architects, we believe that if you're showing around 75% of your gross revenue, that is a great healthy credit report. Now this business has increased its sellable valuable asset. They look strong from every single bank, vendor and lender. They're able to get money instantly on the spot for their operations in good or bad times, and most importantly, the owner will never have to personally guarantee their business again or risk their personal assets and pierce that corporate veil. Let's take an example of a purchase a company might make. Let's say that company A was looking for a purchase of a truck or a vehicle. They walk into a dealership and the purchase price of the vehicle is $75,000. Because their credit limit's only $10,000, well, the gap between $10,000 and $75,000 needs to now be personally guaranteed by the business owner. This means that the vehicle is not 100% of a business asset until it's paid off, and it triggers now personal credit. With scores going anywhere or rates from 7% up to 15%, this can become a very expensive purchase. Even at the best rate of 7%, if you have a very high personal credit score, the total interest paid on this vehicle is $14,105. That's expensive money, especially for a vehicle. Company B walks in, and because of their approved credit limit already, they can sign and drive on the spot for 1.9%, paying just over $1,000. In essence, Company B could put almost 14 trucks on the road for the same price as a company bringing in 5 times the revenue, allowing them to grow and scale faster just by utilizing their corporate credit. We do have to understand that being bankable doesn't mean that you need to go into debt or take out loans. It's about running your business with more cash flow, at less interest, being able to grow and scale and weather any storm. Growth Architects has been able to solve the problem and bring what was once available to Main Street companies, to Wall Street, and every small and medium business in America through our proprietary business success system. Our software has been around for almost 30 years, where we study every type of business lending possible. We reverse engineer all the reasons why business loans get approved and make it transparent for business owners to go behind the banks, the vendors, and the lenders and finally see with ease a step-by-step process of how to take their business from the bottom to the top in the shortest amount of time. The business success system will go through and tick off all the areas for corporate credibility and make sure that your company looks attractive to every vendor and lender with no risk, low interest, and no personal guarantees. The business success system will register correctly with that information to all of the business credit bureaus and then start to build your business credit. The entire process takes between 4 to 6 months, but that doesn't mean you have to wait to start accessing or utilizing corporate credit. Once your compliance items are ticked off and registered, you can start using Tier Credit 1. Tier Credit 1, it's kind of like sitting in economy class. Well, you may not have a lot of room, but you'll get there. With low limits of a couple of thousand and payment periods typical of around 30 days, most vendors, lenders, and suppliers that you'll find in America will report to the top agencies and the 4 credit bureaus if done correctly. The challenge for business owners on their own is knowing which those companies are. Currently, only 7% of the top companies in America will report. That means that trying to do this on your own would leave you at a failure rate of 93%. Once utilizing and paying these off, normally at around $50 a minimum spend, they will report to the business credit bureaus, and very fast you will be then graduated to the next tier. At Tier 2, you're able to get larger limits with longer payment periods. Tier 3 allows you to apply for corporate credit cards, bringing in assets of the company, raising the value without the business owner's name. And finally, at Tier 4, the magic happens. This is when you'll have a high rating of, say, 80 or above with all the credit bureaus, allowing you to get 18 months of 0% trade lines, interest, revolving credit lines, or even those 1.9% vehicles. We have business owners that buy Airbnbs and commercial buildings and anything else you can desire, including other businesses, all on the space of business credit. The system is designed to be custom around your specific business. And on top of the business credit system, we have credit analysis that work one-on-one with business owners to guide them through the ins and the outs of building business credit, specially designing each lender and vendor to your specific needs. An example of a member journey was a trucking company we met with over 10 years of operation, only had a $1,000 credit limit. Through over the next 3 to 6 months, they were able to increase their credit limit over and over again by using reporting trade lines, giving them more cash flow, increasing their return on investment, and then bringing them to a credit limit of $724,200. Remember, this credit limit will continue to grow every year of operation, giving you unlimited access. If you are interested In finding out more about your own specific business, we recommend speaking to one of our consultants at the Growth Architects, where they'll be able to take you through the bankable process to realize that this will be one of the best assets and investments you'll ever make on your business. Thank you for listening, and we look forward to meeting and speaking with you soon.